This is Audiobook Caboodle YouTube channel. Click on the subscribe button and listen unlimited audiobooks anytime, anywhere.
Barks and Purrs by Colette Willy, translated by Mary Kelly. Section 7. The Storm. A suffocating summer's day in the country. The blinds of the house are half closed. Not a sound is heard from within, not a murmur from the parched garden, where even the sensitive leaves of the mimosa hang motionless. Kiki-the-Demure and Toby-Dog begin to feel uncomfortably conscious of the coming storm, which is yet but a slate-blue plinth thickly painted at the bottom of the dull blue sky wall. Toby-Dog lying restlessly first on one side, then the other.
No use! I can't be comfortable. What does this heat mean, anyway? I must be sick. It began at breakfast. I didn't like the meat and sniffed disdainfully at my dog biscuit. Something awful is going to happen. I haven't done anything wrong that I know of. My conscience is clear, and yet I'm suffering. There lies my chum, shivering and unable to sleep. I know by his quick breathing that he feels just as I do. I say, cat?
Kiki-the-Demure irritably in a low tone.
Be quiet!
What, you're listening to some noise?
No! Heavens, no! Don't mention noise. The mere sound of your voice makes the skin on my back go in waves like the sea.
Toby-Dog frightened.
Are you going to die?
I hope not. I've a sick headache. Can't you see the arteries throbbing under the almost hairless skin of my temples? The transparent bluish skin that denotes a thoroughbred? It's atrocious. The veins on my forehead are like writhing vipers, and I don't know what gnome forges in my brain. Oh, be quiet, or at least speak so low that the coursing of my agitated blood may drown the sound of your voice.
But it's this very silence that oppresses me. I tremble, and I don't know why. I long for the familiar voice of the wind in the chimney, the slamming of doors, the whispering of the garden, the poplar's ceaseless rustle. It always sounds like a trickling spring.
The uproar will come soon enough.
Do you think so? I wish he'd scratch paper. It's an idle habit, but an honored one. And see how listless she is, there in her wicker chair. Their silence frightens me more than anything. She seems asleep, but I can see her eyelashes move and the tips of her fingers, too. She's forgetting to play with the little balls of thread, and doesn't sing or whistle. She suffers just as we do. Do you think this can be the end of the world, Cat?
No, it's a storm. Heavens, how uncomfortable I am! If I could only get out of my skin, cast off this fleece which is smothering me, fling myself naked as a skinned mouse into a fresher atmosphere. Oh, dog, you cannot see the sparks that make every separate hair on my body crackle, but I feel them. Don't come near. A blue flame is going to shoot out of me.
Toby-Dog shuddering.
Things are coming to an awful pass.
He drags himself to the porch.
What have they done to the out-of-doors? Look, the trees are all blue, and the grass glistens like a sheet of water. What mournful sunlight! It shines white on the slate roofs, and the little houses over there on the hill look like brand-new tombstones. A heavy odor like bitter almond creeps from the white, bell-shaped blossoms of the daturas, and makes me feel sick and faint. Far away, some smoke, heavy as the perfume of the daturas, goes slowly up in a straight line and falls again, like a broken agate. But come and see for yourself.
Kiki-the-Demure walks falteringly to the porch.
My word, you're changed too, Cat. You look as if you were starving, your face is so drawn. Your fur is plastered down in some places and sticking up in others. Gives you the expression of a weasel that had tumbled into oil.
Don't let that worry you. I'll regain my dignity if ever another day dawns for us. Today I drag myself around unwashed, uncombed, like a woman out of love with love and life.
You say such distressing things. I think I'll whine and call for help. Perhaps I'd better go to her and look in her face for the comfort you refuse me. But she seems asleep now in that wicker chair, and how can I read my fate in her eyes when their lids are down? I'll lick her hand very respectfully and ever so lightly. That will wake her, and oh, may her first caress drive away the evil charm.
He licks the hand hanging at the side of the chair. She, with a scream.
Ah! Heavens! How you frighten me! Was there ever such a ninny as this dog? There!
She administers a smart rap on the nose. Toby's nerves give way, and he howls loud and long.
Quiet! Not a word, I say. Out of my sight! I don't know what's the matter, but I hate you. And that cat sitting there, looking at me like a bump on a log.
Kiki-the-Demure bristling.
If she dares to touch me, I'll devour her.
Just at this dangerous crisis, a low rumbling is heard, distant and then near. Impossible to tell whether it comes from the horizon or arises from the house itself. All three lose interest in the quarrel. Toby-Dog and Kiki-the-Demure slink away as if responding to a signal, and seek shelter, one under the bookcase and the other under an armchair. She turns anxiously to the leaden-hued garden and the great violet bank of cloud, which of a sudden is riven by a blinding streak of blue fire. She, Toby-Dog, Kiki-the-Demure, all together.
Oh!
A sudden crash shakes the windows, and instantly a great rush of wind envelops the house, with a noise as of flapping canvas. All the garden prostrates itself, she in anguish.
Heavens! The apples!
Toby-Dog invisible.
I'll let them cut my ears into strips rather than leave this hiding place.
Kiki-the-Demure invisible.
I can't help hearing, and it's as if I saw everything that's going on. She hastens to close the windows. Someone is running on the stairs. Aye! Another awful flame! And everything is falling in. Silence now. I wonder, are they all dead? I'll look through the fringes of the chair, though it's risking my life to do so. Ah, hailstones making holes in the leaves. Here comes the rain in silvery drops, wide apart, and so heavy that the gravel wrinkles up when they fall.
She, heartbroken.
I can hear the peaches falling, and the green nuts, too.
All three are silent. Rain quivering streaks of lightning hissing in the pine trees. The wind howls. A lull.
I'm not quite so afraid as I was. The sound of the rain relaxes my tired nerves. I seem to feel its streaming warmth on my ears and the back of my neck. Now the hubbub is further off. I can hear myself breathe. The light coming under this bookcase is brighter than it was. What is she doing? I daren't go out yet. If only the cat would move.
He sticks out his head like a weary turtle. A flash of lightning makes him draw it back again.
Ha! It's beginning all over again. Rain by the bucketfuls against the window panes. Something in the chimney is trying to imitate that faraway rumbling. Everything's falling to pieces, and she gave me a rap on the nose.
Drop by drop, a little brownish river is filtering under the loose window sash. It's stretching out and out on the floor, winding its way over to me. I'm so hot and thirsty I'd like to lap up some of it. My joints ache and my ears are tired of standing up like weathercocks at every crash. My jaws are still clenched with nervous fear. The seat of this chair is too low, it annoys me, rubbing against the fur on my back. However, it's some comfort to be able to think of such things, thanks to the peace that's descended on the house. The rain is falling quietly, and the wind has gone down, but the memory of the din still hums in my ears. What can he be doing? The storm distresses him, too. Why didn't he come forward to calm the raging elements? There she is, opening the porch door. Isn't it too soon? No, for the hens are cackling like old maids as they hop over the puddles. We're going to have fine weather. Oh, the adorable smell of wet leaves and earth refreshed. It's so new, so pure. I seem to breathe for the first time.
He creeps stealthily to the porch. Toby-Dog suddenly.
Oh, how good. That smells like a walk. Things change so quickly one hasn't time to think. She's opened the door? Let's run.
He dashes out.
Well, well, the garden has got back its own color again. A warmish vapor moistens my rough-grained nose. I'm filled with the desire to jump and run. The grass is reeking, shining wet. Horned snails are feeling around in the pink gravel with the tips of their eyes, and speckled black and white slugs embroider the wall with a silver ribbon. Oh, what a beautiful green and gold beastie running out there in the wet! Shall I catch it? Shall I scratch its metallic shell until it breaks with a little cracking sound? No, I'd rather stay near her. She's leaning against the door, taking deep breaths and smiling quietly to herself. I'm so happy. Something inside me feels grateful to the whole world. The light is beautiful, and I'm quite sure that there'll never, never be another storm.
I shan't wait any longer. I'm going out. I'll find dry places between the puddles for my dainty paws to step on. An imperceptible thrill runs through the streaming garden, making the jewels hung all about tremble and sparkle. The slanting rays of the setting sun find their reflection in my eyes, which are spangled with green and gold. Down near the horizon, where the sky is still unsettled, a glittering sword leaps up and puts to flight the dark, fuming cloud-horses that have been galloping over our heads. Now the odor of the daturas rises and perfumes all the air, mingled with that of lemon leaves, bruised by the hail. The roses are crowned with midges. Oh, sudden springtime! An involuntary smile stretches the corners of my mouth. I'm going to play at tickling my nostrils with the point of a sweet-smelling blade of grass, carefully stretching my neck to avoid the falling drops. But I want him to follow and admire me. Will he not come out and enjoy himself with us?
A voice is heard humming a motif from the Regenbogen. So si re, so la si, all flats. A door opens and closes again. He appears under the dripping foliage of vines framing the veranda, and at the same moment a rainbow is seen in the sky. End of section 7.
This was Audiobook Caboodle YouTube channel presentation. We hope you enjoyed listening. For full audiobook, check out our playlist section. Links in description below.